Sit down and they stand right back up. Edge support. I want you guys to think about something for a second. I'm 95 pounds. I wake up in the middle of the night. I have an adjustable, so that's nice. That means I can swing my legs out and get my feet on the floor, but I can't stand up. I am stuck here. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Do I wake my wife up? Haha, it's a trick question. No, she stays sleeping. That's why I've been married 15 years, okay? She stays sleeping, I stay on the side of the bed. How long do I sit here?
Till she wakes up.
Till she realizes there's creeps sitting on the side of her bed, right? till I get the physical strength to stand up on my own, which was an improbability. I mean, it just wasn't going to happen. Or until my pain subsided. She'd wake up in the morning, and I'd be sitting on the side of the bed. I'd spend hours sitting on the side of my bed. I'm fairly young. Am I the only person doing this?
No.
No. If they sit down and they stand right back up, edge support is everything to them. Okay? They're spending time sitting on the side of their bed. Normally, from a stomach issue, an acid reflux issue, or a heart or breathing issue. They gain knowledge by seeing them do that. Yeah. You know kind of what they're looking for. I used to on the floor for like 5 years. I'm like, man, how long does it take them to put their shoes on in the morning? Like, that was the whole thing. Like, why? Like, how much time do people spend on the side of their bed? Until I was there, and I realized a lot. People will spend a lot of time. So if there's no edge support, are they going to keep sitting on it? No, they're going to stand right up. All right, the third one, right? It's like you're like 66% of the way in the bed. Don't you just want to like grab their feet and like gently lay them in there? Like, I don't want to touch you, but you're kind of making me, all right? And I don't know if you guys, I've never in all of my life seen somebody pass out like this. So, who's in control of the sale if any one of those three things happen? The client. Now, I know we can't control the client anymore, but as super professionals, we can still do one thing, control the sale. So we can't let them gain control of the sale. We need to gain control of the sale. That does not mean control the client, that means control the sale. So, any one of these three things happen, they're already gaining control. That's why in my greeting, when I walk in, I told them what I was going to do. I told them I'm going to lay them down. I told them I'm going to find one in their budget. I told them I'm going to custom fit them, which nobody else is doing. Also, I'm going to educate them. They're going to walk out with an education. They're going to walk out telling other people about things that they learned inside of my store, whether they buy it or not. You guys are sitting around on your computers anyways, okay? Take time, really educate, right? You're doing studies, that's all you do, right? All day long, that's all I did. I'd sit there and all day long. I was doing studies, I was learning about temper, I was learning about everything I could on that floor, all day long. So once you get enough knowledge and you build on your process, then you can make it, okay? So if we get one shot at this, guys, we need to make it count. You need to start the highest end technology on the highest end mattress. I know most of you guys have a dual split king adjustable temper on your floor right now. That's a $12,000 ticket. When you start adding to it, it gets over to $13,500, okay, with warranties, right? We do the dual splits because that's where you guys make the most amount of money, but most importantly, it's what's going to work out best for your clients. My brother is a general contractor. He has a bunch of general contractor buddies. There's a very, very common theme in Florida for 2020. Most brand new homes that are being designed in Florida in 2020 are being designed with 2 master bedrooms. Why?
His and hers.
His and hers. Guys. One day my wife was sleeping in the other room snoring, or I was snoring. She was not snoring, I didn't say that. Okay? And she went in the other room and I thought about something when I woke up. You know, she had done that a bunch of times. Do you think she's ever told anybody she's ever done that? No. You know who's sleeping in our spare bedroom, besides our children? My wife is. When I snore, she's not going to tell a therapist that. She's not going to tell her mom, her best friend. She's not going to tell anybody that. It's because there's nothing wrong with our relationship. There's wrong with our sleeping. And it's almost like this, I'm sleeping in a separate room. That means, there's something wrong with your relationship. That is not true. What we can do is, if we have dual split king adjustables, we can now move the couples back into the same bedroom. You can also put them on separate mattresses completely. Mark, that I'm going to teach you about, was 94 years old when he walked in. First off, he slept on his side for 94 years. I changed the way that he slept. He started sleeping on his back, which is amazing. That's a 94-year habit that he broke. Most importantly, and crazy to me, was that after 60 years of marriage, him and his wife realized they liked separate mattresses. She wanted the soft and he wanted the firm. So for 60 years, they've been just trying to find something that works for both of them. That's a necessity of life you're sacrificing. A necessity of life, okay? If each of you have your own mattress, now we're making money, but you're also, more importantly, working out for the clients so they can each have their own mattress. I want you guys to think about this. 80% of the market, the worldwide market for adjustable bases that were delivered last year came from Ergomotion. The other 20% of the market in the world is split up by every other company you can think of, off the top of your head. Please don't say them, it hurts myself, okay? So out of the 80% that we delivered last year, 71% of those were Kings. You know what that tells us? That's the first time, by the way, in 16 years that Kings outsold Queens. Sleep is becoming a mainstream thing, guys. They're willing to sacrifice a nightstand to buy a King mattress so they can get better sleep. If they're going to buy a King mattress anyways, you might as well sell them 2 mattresses. So you got to get good at working 2 separate remotes. You also need to get good at every time you adjust when there's 2 people, one has to be slightly off from the other. Why? It shows customization. It shows them directly that they are already in the store, are not in the same position. I do this because if you put them in the exact same position in the store, they start thinking, well, maybe we can sleep in the same position. Maybe for a couple hours. I have to sleep pretty much sitting up. You think my wife wants to sleep like that? No. Mark slept with only his feet all the way maxed out. Does his wife want to sleep like that? No, okay? We all want to sleep in a unique, customized position. Let's make sure we get every client the opportunity to do that. Dual split king adjustables, okay? That's your game. Have a starting point. You start at the top. You're going to work your way down. You're going to put them on 3 separate technologies. Start whatever technology you are the most comfortable with. When they lay down on the Ergo Extend Temper base, you go ahead and lay down for me. What you'll notice, again, if we get one shot and it's not the Ergo base, so it doesn't extend out, we really need to take the time at this point to move their body so that when we adjust the base, they're not having to do the shuffle. So you got to get really good about where positioning needs to be. But because we create a natural seated position, we don't have to worry about that. Okay? So what we're going to do first is I'm going to raise up the feet.
They're out.
This first time. That's my new favorite story, by the way. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to raise the feet. Okay? We raise the feet because we know that if they suffer from any lower back tension, and I'm not talking pain, I'm talking tension, guys. Those are 2 completely different things. Most people suffer from lower back tension. Here's what it comes from. You could be over the age of 15. You could have been in a car accident, played sports in your life. Do you work really hard?
Yep.
Yep. That literally happens every time. Usually Brett Batterman's in there. He gets a much better, louder laugh. So,
That was the funniest part of the whole presentation.
working really hard creates a lot of lower back tension. The reason I ask the clients that, do you work hard in your life? That's a very prideful thing. They're going to tell you every time, yes, I do, right? Working really hard creates a lot of lower back tension. As the day goes on, the more we stand up, the more pressure gets put on that tension. As that tension gets pressure, that's when it turns into pain. Somebody will go their whole day, whole 6 hours, have no pain, in the last 2 or 3 hours, severe lower back pain. That's that pressure constantly put on it. It could be from sitting in a chair all day, it could be from standing up, it could be from driving a car, it doesn't really matter. Most people do suffer from it. We know that if we raise the head first, it puts direct pressure on that spot, creating pain. If we raise the feet first, it relieves pressure off of that spot. As a salesperson, should we be creating an issue or relieving an issue? Yes, let's relieve an issue every single time, right? You guys will also notice something. A lot of people, when you make them lay on their back, are going to cross their feet. Okay? They cross their feet for 2 reasons usually. One, their back's uncomfortable, maybe their legs, upper back doesn't really matter, or they're just uncomfortable in the situation itself. Okay? So, do not, I repeat, do not make them uncross their legs. This is a serious, serious HR issue. They're on a bed and you're making them uncross their legs. You do not do that. Are you controlling the client or are you controlling the sale at that point too? You're controlling the client. Okay? So here's what we will do. If they cross their feet, as we raise their base, naturally, most people will uncross their feet. Naturally. You don't have to say anything, they're just naturally going to do it. What we really want them to do is this. If they buckle their feet out like this, not having we completely relieve that tension off the lower back, we've relaxed all of the muscles in their legs. Is this a buying sign? Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Now, do not watch for it. Hold on, okay? If it happens, it happens. You'll also find sometimes they won't uncross their legs until the head gets raised up. Sometimes they won't uncross their feet at all. However, if they do, as the base comes out and they kick out, stop moving the base. That is their comfort zone. We found it. No asking questions. We have naturally done this. Is that different than, hey, can you uncross your feet for me? I want to show you something. Yes. Yes. Guys, I bring up the HR issue because there's been issues. Okay? So I would seriously, if you are currently doing that, not do that. Okay? So, the second thing we're going to do is, I want you to focus on your breathing. Now, I don't need you to take deep breaths, but I do want you to think about the oxygen going in and out of your lungs, okay, and the effort it takes to breathe. Now we're going to raise the head. So, as the head comes up, let me ask you, is it easier or harder to breathe?
Easier.
Easier. It's easy, okay? It's much easier, okay? Do you guys know why?
Opens up the breathing passages.
It opens up the breathing passages. There's gravity involved because of the weight that gets put down on our chest, right, and closes up the esophagus. Let's go one step further. How much of our body's made up of water? 90%? 77? What's that? 60? Okay, my highest number is in New York City. At 99%, somebody yelled back when I said, how much of our body? And I yelled, did you understand the question? He goes, yes. And I said, I gave you an out, just so you know. I was trying to let you say, oh, no, I meant something else. 99%, guys. Think about it. Okay, so the true number actually is between 67 and 74%. Now, the older we get, the higher the number gets for some reason, okay? We hear this number when we're in grade school. All right? And most of us never hear it again. But when we first hear it, we're like, that cannot be right. My body is not that much water. That's impossible. But it is true. The higher the number, the better for the RSA. The better for you guys. When we ask them how much of our body is made up of water, you guys are probably going to hear between the number of 80 and 90%. If they say 70%, man, you're smart. Where did you go to school? Okay? If they say 80 or 90%, am I going to correct my client?
No.
No. You're right. Most of our body is made up of water. Okay? The higher the number, the better. Because if they're thinking it's 90%, when you show them this demo, it's going to blow their mind. All right? So, if we know for a fact that 70% of our body is made up of water, and I take somebody and I lay them completely flat on their back, now what I've done is I've taken the natural water that's inside of our body, and the gravity of it has taken and put it on the bottom of my lungs and the top of my lungs. So let me ask you, when you were down and before I raised you up, would you say your breathing was restricted? Now that you're up, wouldn't you say it's clear? Right? Did I just prove it to the client? Okay. If you're on your side or your back, does it do anything? No. Let's go again. This is stomach acid. What happens when stomach acid touches the top of your stomach? There's like 7 names for it now. Y'all are right, okay? So, if we're talking acid reflux, if we talk about acid touching the top of your stomach and it's corroding it and eating it away, right? What most people are going to do if I tell them to lay on their back at home is they're going to turn on their side. We know 80%. Actually, we can do a study right now. How do you fall asleep first off? At home. On your side. Okay, I want you guys to raise your hand if you fall asleep on your back. Okay? Now I want you to raise your hand if you fall asleep on your stomach. Are you a stomach sleeper or are you a Captain Morgan sleeper? Because if you're Captain Morgan, guess what? That's a side sleeper. All right? This is how these statistics get to 80. Now raise your hand if you fall asleep on your side. Now let me ask you, is asking you if you fall asleep, how you fall asleep different than asking you how you sleep?
Mm-hmm.
If I walk over and say, hey, how do you sleep at night? Yeah, right? How do you sleep at night? Well, how terrible, why do you think I'm in here, right? They could come up with literally any language. How do you fall asleep at night? We crave sleep like we crave water. Every single person in here puts themselves in the exact same position to fall asleep whether you think you do or not. Sometimes you'll fight and you go, well, I try to fall asleep on my back, but I wake up on my side every single morning. That's because right before you go to bed, your body goes, okay? But we know if you're on your back or you're on your side, it does nothing for not only the water in your body, but the acid in your stomach. But look if you're on your back or your side, and I raise you up by just 3 to 6 degrees. Now look what happens. Now look where the water's settling. This is why they have patients in the hospital the way that they do, guys. So, we're going to teach them whether they're on their back or their side. I still need the head elevated up. I want the foot elevated up for the hip. We'll get to that in a second. Because we know if you're turning on your side, you're buckling your legs to relieve pressure off the lower back. You're putting a pillow between your legs to align your hip. That's why most people do it. Or it's because their knees, right? And then that's how most people fall asleep at night. That creates breathing problems, restriction in circulation, pressure problems, and heat problems. More importantly, half of your body now becomes support for the other half of your body. You will never have a doctor tell you to sleep on your side unless a medical condition is involved. They want you on your back otherwise. Okay? Let me ask you, got any stress in your life?
Sure.
Yeah, me too. I got 5 if y'all are keeping track. Hold on. I felt like she was staring at me in that picture. I have 4 stresses now. I'm taking my wife off that. So let me do this. Let me turn on the circulation enhancer for you, okay? Now, the circulation enhancer, what this is doing is it's opening and contracting your muscles. It's releasing all of your bad toxins and it's helping your body better recover from the day. Having this circulation enhancer on for 10 minutes is like taking a 10-minute brisk walk. How important is that for somebody that can't get up? Okay, if you've spent time in a hospital, do you know what they do for circulation enhancement in a hospital? They put compression boots on you. And the compression boots open and contract all day long. This is doing the exact same thing. Are you still my clicker man?
I didn't know that.
All right. So I had the privilege of training the Property Brothers, and obviously this picture's been doctored because I am not that short. I'm just kidding. I am. These guys are 6'5". Did you know that? 6'5". They don't tell you this. They come walking up. I'm like, I don't think I can do this. So anyways, I trained the Property Brothers. They ended up getting a base from us for Scott Living. They're a mattress brand case. We built them a base. And the same process that you guys are hearing today is the exact same process that they heard. Now what was interesting, if you've watched their show, they're as real in life as they are on their show. Drew is the one that's sporting a beard, and I found out his real name's Andrew. So we had 2 bearded Andrews in the same room. Like, come on, man. So, and I'm just saying, I'm not saying, but he sports a beard now. I mean, he may not have walked in that. I think he painted it on after he seen me. But Jonathan is the builder. Okay, so Jonathan builds everything. Drew sells everything. 5 to 10 minutes into my conversation, Jonathan goes, just show me how it works. Were his exact words, and he laid down. I said, good, I needed a volunteer anyways, that works perfect. The whole time, Drew's trying to take the remote out of my hand. I mean, he really wants to know how this thing works. He wants to know everything about it. His name's on it, right? His brother's laying in the bed, all relaxed. So I had one goal during this sales process. If I control the remote, I control the sale. If I give up the remote, I no longer control the sale. So we go to the next picture. Who's controlling the sale in this picture? Yes. I got like 15 minutes and I was like, just take the remote, sir. I'm so sorry I ever held it from your hand. I do not need it, but I can tell you how to work it if you don't mind. But Jonathan was in the bed. I turned on the circulation enhancer. I said, Jonathan, this is opening and contracting your muscles. It's releasing all your bad toxins. It's helping your body better recover from the day. Having this on for 10 minutes is like taking a 10-minute brisk walk. And he goes, do you work at my gym in Vegas? I was like, what? He goes, they sold me that exact same line. Every time I'm done working out, I stand on this machine that vibrates at a high frequency. It helps my body better recover from the day. It breaks it down so I can recover from my workout quicker and better. Guess what they charge me extra for? I said, well, stop. Your name's on the base, all right? And it's built into the base. He goes, you don't understand. They charge me by the minute. That's how important it is. The minute, guys. It's built into the bed. Do you know what I didn't call it?
Massage.
Okay. I want everybody to say massage really loud one time.
Massage.
That's the last time I ever want to hear y'all say that in the mattress per se. Okay? It is not massage. When you turn on massage, you say, hey, let me turn on the massage for you, okay? That is an unrealistic expectation for your client. You turn on the massage and then a vibration gets turned on in the bed. When I hear massage, I think Havana Beach oil. I think massage. I think a massage chair. I think somebody's back there like getting it. I think there better be a Kool-Aid man about to bust out of the wall with all the gear going, massage, right? And what happens? Vibration. And I heard the same three things. What'd you put a quarter in the bed? Like it was the funniest joke anybody said on the planet. Number two, what is this, Griswold vacation? Okay, right? Number three, how much is it without that vibration? I do not need it. All the time. Got to the point where I was scared to bring it up. However, how many of my clients, when I said, by the way, having this on for 10 minutes is opening and contracting your muscles, it's releasing all your bad toxins, and it's helping your body better recover from the day. Having this on for 10 minutes is like taking a 10-minute brisk walk, 20 minutes for a 20-minute brisk walk, and 30 minutes for a 30-minute brisk walk. That's where the benefits end. I don't need you sleeping with this on, but I'd love for you to have this on right before you go to bed, because what it's going to do is it's going to start all of this stuff out of sleep instead of in sleep, which is going to help you get deeper stages of sleep. Okay? How many of you said I don't need it then? I had a 90% attachment rate. You think I just sold low-end, head-up, foot-up bases? No. I was supporting my family with this business. I sold high-end bases, and I had to get over that objection. This is how we do it. If you call it foot massage, that's an unrealistic expectation. Might as well not even bring it up. You know, the circulation enhancement, that's what they call it, the factory, by the way. It only became massage when marketing got a hold of it. Marketing. So, circulation enhancement, relaxation motor, okay? Circulation therapy, right? Vibration therapy. I do not care what you call it, but do not call it massage. I had to fight for 6 months for them to get massage taken off the remote. I had to fly to China to get them to take massage off the remote. Okay? So, he's in a pretty unique sleeping position, wouldn't you say? Right? I raised his feet up, I watched him buckle out, so I know I've relieved the tension off of his lower back. I raised his head to improve the oxygen and blood moving through his body. I turned the circulation enhancer on to improve the circulation so that when he goes to sleep, he's ready for sleep, right? Then he's gonna say, well, you know, I told you I can't sleep on my back, I'm a side sleeper, right? And that's my response would be, good, I'm not asking you to sleep on your back. I'm asking you to sleep in a unique sleeping position. What I want you to do is hold your hand out, okay? Everybody hold your hand out flat. Okay? They say, how do you ask for the sale? Just like that. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody hold your hand out flat. That joke, by the way, is just for me. So you hold out your hand out flat and you say, this is you on a flat mattress on your back. This is you on a flat mattress on your back. Now relax your hand. That's you in an adjustable bed. I'm not asking you to sleep flat on your back. I'm asking you to sleep in a customized sleep position. We get brought in this world in the fetal position, correct? Right? What's the first type of mattress we lay our children on? Firm, hard crib, right? Now, all 4 of my kids bitched for 10 months. They were like, how'd you get that baby to stop crying? I said, I put it in a car seat and drove it around. You mean like this unique sleeping position with the circulation enhancer on? Yes, y'all, I mean exactly like that. I'm not asking you to sleep flat on your back. That's crazy. Unless you like it, then it's amazing. Go for you. Right? I'm asking you to sleep in a customized sleep position. Right? Now, if this is a customized sleep position, do you think your clients in the middle of the night want to mess around with the remote?
Nope.
So I collect minivans like most old people collect classic cars. I have 4 of them in my driveway. Okay? That's 1 per kid, if y'all are keeping track. So when they turn 16, they get a 98 Astro van with no back seats. Like, okay? So I have 1 van, my wife calls it the King van. She calls it the King van because it has 1 button. 1 button. Okay? The 1 button, though, I hit it, it moves the pedals, the steering wheel, the seats, and the mirrors. It's amazing. I love it. Okay? I'm like calling the kids like, guys, and they're like, the seat again, Dad? We're good. Okay? I love it. I think it's hilarious. 295,000 miles in this van. Okay? Our nicest, newest van has crank windows. There's crank windows because my wife got in a car accident. All 4 of my children were stuck inside of that vehicle. It was on fire. The fire department had to break windows to get them out. Because the way she got hit, it jammed all the doors. She couldn't start the vehicle to roll down the window. She gets home and says, next van we get, I want crank windows. And I was like, Love that logic so much. It's so smart. Let's go. Let's go to the store. So I walk into the dealership and I was like, yo, where do you keep your crank window vans at? And he goes, what year is this? We don't have crank window vans anymore. He goes, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's considered a base van and we have to custom order it. I said, that's fine, custom order. What other options can I put on there? He goes, nothing. The first option they put on there is power windows and power locks, right? So, that's not gonna happen. So we got crank windows, manual, everything. Everything in it is manual, the entire vehicle. I'm 5'9.5" on the greatest day of my life with my shoes on, but my wife is 5 foot. That's a 9.5-inch difference. And because she's 5 foot, if you've been around other shorter people like us, you have to be closer to the steering wheel. I physically cannot get into my vehicle unless I move the seat. How often do I take the manual van versus the King van? Never. I'd rather break down on the side of the road in 95-degree heat and 100% humidity than have to adjust that seat every time I left the driveway, right? You think your client's any different in the middle of the night? You think they want to wake up in the middle of the night and mess around with the remote? Actually, at Ergo Motion, we know for a fact they do not. Our #1 phone call is, can you reprogram the 0G button to your own sleep position? Okay? #1 phone call. Why? It's not getting brought up during the sale. Okay? So, here's where I'm different than most trainers that come in. I am going to teach you guys how to sell the 900. Is that our base?
No.
No. Okay. So the 900 has reprogrammable buttons, as does the Temper, and they're set up slightly different, but this is when we bring it up. This is when we bring up the importance of what it is and how it will work for them. By the way, we want you on your back. I know I'm breaking a lifelong habit. We know you're probably gonna end up back on your side. This is for your unique sleeping position, but when you transition to your side, you can hit one button and have it go over. Okay? Better yet, your new IntelliBed, you're gonna be able to talk to it without Alexa or Google. It's voice command direct. On top of that, I shouldn't give so much of this stuff away. IntelliBed's new base is not gonna track your sleep, it's gonna treat your sleep. Here's how unique it is. It'll hear your heart rate. It'll get an AI version of what your heart rate is regularly. If it goes into bradycardia or goes up into an extreme level, it will notify one of your next of kin. If you are having a heart attack in bed, it will notify someone before you even wake up. It's not tracking your sleep, it's treating yourself. That's IntelliBed, it's coming. So we're really happy. All right, so now the next, what does the 900 have that the that no other base has? Lumbar support, right? Lumbar support. So if they need lumbar support for a couple minutes of driving, should they use it for a couple hours of sleeping?
Absolutely.
Yes. Most people set lumbar support in their vehicle and never set it again. They don't need to. They know exactly where it's at. We can do a very similar thing with the 900. So we're going to set the lumbar support. Now, it's not going to be for everyone. You have to show the benefits of it and talk about it, or they're not ever going to know. We raise the feet to relieve that lower back tension. We know that for a fact. Otherwise, if you're raising the head up, you're just putting direct pressure on there. So does that mean is your free base worth anything? No, it's worthless, okay? All it is there for is to get them in the door. Then you guys need to do your job, all right? I ran a similar ad, buy a bed, get a TV for free. I was like, why did I do this? It was just the stupidest thing. So, when we're talking about the customized button and the lumbar support, we raise the lumbar support, that's gonna hit that mid to lower back, right? That's the whole point of that, but not everybody necessarily needs to hit here, right? So it's gonna be different for everybody, but you gotta show the benefits of it. You at least have to bring it up. A lot of people, because of how the mattress will sit, as you raise it up, it is gonna make it feel better, right? It's different than in a car. In a car, it's lowered down here. In a base, it's higher up here, okay? So they are different, but they have the same benefit. It's meant to hit a different part of your back to relieve pressure. Let me ask you. So we're selling the 900, not this one, okay? Between the lumbar support, the reprogrammable buttons, and the circulation enhancer, what's the most important option to you?
I would say the lumbar support.
The lumbar support. Congratulations, we found your crust. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and find your topping. And now we start our sales process. You lay them on the mattresses. You find out after the mattress what base they actually need. Here's the thing. If he says circulation enhancer, what do I say? Congratulations, you found your crust. If he says reprogrammable buttons, what do I say? Congratulations, you found your crust. All right? I don't care. Because what happens if he says any one of those three things? Is he buying a base? So, if the national attachment rate, if you sell the mattress first, is 15%, what do you think the attachment rate is if you sell the adjustable base first? It's 100%, okay? It's 100%, all right? Nobody's buying an adjustable base without a mattress unless they've already purchased a mattress from you and they're coming in for an adjustable base, all right? So if he picks any one of those three things, he's definitely buying a base from you, which also means without a doubt he's buying a mattress from you. Sale done, okay? More importantly, if he picks any one of those three things, we get to the end. He wants to save some money. We do have adjustable bases we can go to, right, to save him money? But what you have to say is, yes, I can save you money. But do you remember the lumbar support that you said was your most important option? I have to remove that. Hey, do you remember that circulation enhancer that you said was the most important option? I agree. Do you remember those reprogrammable buttons we talked about? I gotta remove them. Okay? Let themselves talk themselves out of the technology. Okay? They will. So let's say we're selling this base. Between the extension decking that's created your natural seated position. By the way, did your feet move?
No.
Did he shuffle? Has he moved? You guys actually see how much more of a natural curve this has to it than being buckled up? Okay? Between the natural seated position, the extension decking, the reprogrammable buttons and the circulation enhancer, what's the most important option to you?
For me, the extension deck.
Extension decking. Congratulations, we found your crust. If he picks the extension decking, can he go anywhere else? We really have found his crust. Okay? Now we need to find his topping. Now I like taco pizza. Okay? I was in New York City and I said the exact same thing. I like taco pizza, and somebody yelled at me, "You can't put those two words together." And I said I didn't. I didn't invent it. I just enjoy it. How many of my 4 children will eat taco pizza, do you think? One. So there's a good chance if I order taco pizza, 75% of my children are not going to eat that night. All right? So what that says is every one of them, if I gave everybody in here the opportunity to order a pizza from anywhere they wanted, with any crust, any cheese, any toppings, any sauce, there wouldn't be one pizza to be the same. Not one. Not one. And you'd settle. Obviously, we'd all settle for pizza, right? But if you had your choice, anywhere, you can order from anywhere in the United States, nobody in here would get the same. Same, okay? Crust, we've picked it out. We know they're buying a base now. We know it's a locked-in sale. We know it's getting done. We know they picked the circulation enhancer as the most important option. We know the mattress is getting sold. Now we go into our jobs that you guys do the best at in the entire industry. It should be very, very easy. Let's say we get to the end knowing he's still adamant. I'm side sleeping. I'd love to try my back. I slept, you know, I can't do it. And I'd say, have you ever fallen asleep in a recliner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you sleeping on your side?
No.
Congratulations, you can sleep on your back. That's a joke. Don't say that to your client unless you've really broken down a wall and you're having a really good time, okay? You don't want to offend them by any means. But in reality, that's true. If they're sleeping in a recliner, if they slept in a recliner, if they consistently sleep in a recliner every day, they can sleep on their back, all right? That's a mindset thing, right? So let's say, though, he still is like, no, I can't do it. I have to be on my side. I've tried this before. I used to have a base, but here you go, whatever, okay? Will you roll on your side for me? So, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind, the circulation enhancer for ergo motion. By the way, it's foot massage only. Do not turn the head massage on. It's too intense for people. And do not crank this thing up to try to show them how it works, right? Lowest setting. Turn it on. Explain it, and as it's going,